All right, let's dive right into this. If you're a graduate-level learner, a market analyst, or a business development strategist, you are in exactly the right place. Because right now, there are literally billions of dollars in impending corporate spending just hiding in plain sight within public disclosures. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you view environmental, social, and governance disclosures, what we all know as ESG reports. We're going to transform them from these dry, boring compliance documents into highly advanced, predictive market intelligence assets. Let's get started.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Beyond lagging indicators. 2. Defining strategic intent. 3. The extraction template. 4. MEC case study. 5. The reverse read. And 6. Proactive advantage.
Section 1. Beyond lagging marketing indicators. Okay, before we start looking forward, we kind of have to acknowledge what's holding most analysts back right now. Think about this for a second. What if your absolute most valuable predictive analytics tool wasn't some expensive new software, but a public disclosure? Seriously, you might spend weeks agonizing over a tiny 2% dip in website traffic and completely miss the fact that your target account just publicly pledged $50 million to overhaul their supply chain. It's crazy, right? Most of us spend our days staring at website traffic, social media engagement, CRM data, and hey, that stuff is important for sure, but it has one massive glaring limitation. It's purely historical. It only tells you what happened yesterday.
It's honestly like driving a car by only looking in the rearview mirror. On the left side here, we have those lagging indicators, your CRM data, your web traffic, your surveys. They just tell you who a company used to be. But on the right, that's where the magic happens. We've got our leading indicators, ESG commitments, and strategic intent. This is the headlight illuminating exactly what an organization plans to do next. If you want to spot emerging business priorities before your competitors even wake up, you absolutely have to shift your focus to the right side of this equation.
Moving to Section 2, defining ESG strategic intent.
So let's establish the core paradigm shift to this whole explainer. What exactly does an ESG report represent to a trained analyst? Well, it is definitely not a fluffy PR brochure. As this definition lays out, an ESG report is a predictive market intelligence asset, revealing future corporate strategy, investments, workforce transformation, and procurement priorities. Think about the math here. If a massive global logistics company publicly promises to hit net zero emissions by 2040, they can't PR their way out of that. They are mathematically forced to buy electric fleets, entirely new routing software, and huge infrastructure upgrades. That impending investment creates a colossal window for you. Their commitment creates demand, and that demand creates unprecedented opportunities.
Section 3. The Intelligence Extraction Template.
Now, there's a huge theoretical gap out there regarding how to actually parse these incredibly dense public disclosures. When you open a 200-page ESG report, what are you even looking for? Well, these are the 3 hidden market signals you need to extract, and I highly encourage you to use this specific framework as an advanced, topic-related, visual and report template pointer to be used to explain and map out client opportunities for your own internal teams. The 3 steps are: first, assess leadership commitment. Second, analyze measurable data and targets. And third, evaluate the action plan roadmap. Let's break these down to see exactly how this template works in the real world.
So, signal 1, leadership commitment. You're almost always going to find this right at the beginning, in the opening executive letter from the CEO or president. Why start here? Because checking that letter is a critical pointer. It tells you immediately which priorities actually matter enough to get on the big boss's agenda. But here's the trick. Don't just skim it. Actually, scratch that. Read it like a hawk, looking for active verbs tied to real capital allocation. If the CEO says, "We are investing heavily in workforce transformation," boom, that's your green light. Those are the initiatives getting top-down financial backing.
Next up, Signal 2, data and targets. Look at this breakdown. We've got a heavy 40% allocation toward emissions reduction targets, alongside 30% for workforce diversity and 30% for energy consumption. Generic, feel-good marketing language, it means absolutely nothing to us. As advanced analysts, you have to hunt for these specific, measurable baseline metrics. Why? Because the numbers dictate exactly where the money is flowing. If a company publicly commits to reducing emissions by 40%, they have to procure the technology and the consulting services to make that happen. End of story.
And that brings us to Signal 3, the action plan. Targets on their own don't create value, the roadmap does. The action plan is literally their procurement shopping list. It describes the specific initiatives that will get them to their goals. Notice how this roadmap clearly points to future spending for things like sustainability consulting, carbon accounting software, AI platforms, employee training, and supply chain tech. This right here, This is where you stop waiting around for an RFP to drop and you start identifying massive opportunities long before the rest of the market even knows what's going on.
Section 4. Case Study, Deconstructing MEC. Let's ground this in a real-world example. We'll apply our extraction template to Mountain Equipment Company, or MEC. The contrast here is just staggering. If you take the traditional firmographic view, you'd totally miss the mark. You'd categorize MEC simply as an outdoor retailer based on their industry code and headcount. Whoop-de-doo. But when we apply our strategic ESG view and actually read their sustainability disclosures, a completely different narrative emerges. We suddenly see that MEC is an organization actively investing millions to transform their Tier 1 suppliers and enforce responsible manufacturing across the globe.
Now take a look at this matrix. This is a brilliant visual and report template you can literally copy and paste to map out your own key accounts. It's the ultimate pointer to guide your sales teams toward real revenue. See how the public commitments on the left map perfectly to specific vendor demand on the right? An emissions reduction commitment equals a need for carbon software. Sustainable sourcing means they need consulting. Employee education means they're hunting for training providers. And data monitoring? They're going to buy analytics platforms. You would never, ever see these lucrative opportunities just by looking at their NAICS code. You only see them because you use the ESG report as an advanced diagnostic tool.
Section 5. Methodology, the reverse read.
Okay, so you know what to look for. Now, how do you actually read these massive documents? We use a tactical workflow called the reverse read. This is a brilliant data extraction methodology that totally flips normal reading habits upside down. Do not start on page 1. It's like reading the last chapter of a mystery novel to find out who the killer is before going back to see how they did it. Step 1. Start at the very back of the report. Look at the dense data tables, the reporting standards, the baseline years. Find the hard numbers. Step 2. Move to the front. Now read the leadership messages and community initiatives. And Step 3. Combine that hard quantitative data with the strategic narrative. This reverse engineering uncovers the absolute strongest signals about what they want to achieve and, more importantly, how they plan to fund it.
Section 6. Unlocking Proactive Market Advantage.
So, what does this all mean for you tomorrow morning? Here is your advanced, totally actionable checklist for your next business development sprint. Do not just stop at their website or their LinkedIn page. Step 1. Download the ESG report. It should literally be the first thing you do before a discovery call. Step 2. Find that leadership commitment to prove there's actual executive buy-in. Step 3. Extract the measurable baseline targets so you understand the undeniable mathematical reality of what they have to do. And Step 4, map out the execution action plan using that matrix template we just walked through so you can perfectly align your solutions with their impending roadmap.
I want to leave you with this one thought, because if you take nothing else away, let it be this. ESG reports are not compliance documents. They are market intelligence reports hiding in plain sight. All the signals about future investments, technology adoption, and strategic priorities, they are all right there, just waiting for anyone who knows how to extract them using the right visual and report templates. So the only question left for you is, which competitor's ESG report are you going to reverse engineer tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep extracting those insights, and I'll see you next time.